need to hurry.
Yes, we
Yes,
need
yes,
we need to
yes.
hurry to the castle and get that sword back. Everyone have your stakes?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's in the castle though, but I'm pretty sure he won't just let us waltz in.
And
No.
well, we'll be here to fight whatever he throws at us. Ulfgar,
Yes.
I need you to promise me that we'll cooperate, okay? There's no
Um,
room for disagreements in there.
in the castle?
For any of this. If we
Aye.
hesitate for even a moment, we risk dying.
Of course.
So you make your way beyond the gates of Barovia, and on the other side you see the fork in the road. And at the fork of the road is a large black carriage drawn by two black horses. The side door to the carriage swings open.
Wolfgar looks at it suspiciously and stops. What's this?
This will take us to Strahd.
I'm partially tempted to get in. He wouldn't just kill us in the carriage, right?
This might as well be the end of our lives, guys. Why not hop in?
Is there a spot on the back where I can just hold on instead of hopping in?
You could.
Because that's what Nyx will do if, it comes down to it.
I think I'll
Oh.
climb in. I'm starting to think that there may be some sort of thing where it's like, oh, if you're not in the carriage, then you die or something. Seems like a very Strahd thing to do. Maybe a way to make sure that people only get in when he wants them to come.
Yim steps
Scope it
in.
out.
Yim steps in. I'm going to hold on to the back.
Cart climbs in.
Astrid
Wolfgar
joins
look at
Cart.
Astrid.
You make your way towards the castle. Takes you a couple hours to get there, and along the way, as you get closer, the rain starts, the clouds seem to start to get darker and start coalescing more.
I realize this may be our best time to discuss things that we may need to have happen if we don't make it through this, but others. If we do happen to make our way out of this horrible place, is there anything you want people to know? For one thing, if I don't make it through, I would appreciate if someone found the Seppel family, a family of humans. I'd appreciate it if you let them know what happened to me. And at least tell them that I tried my best to find my way back.
Kark, if anybody found out that you died, I bet word would spread of you like wildfire. They would know.
Not if I've been stuck in this realm this entire time. I'm sure as far as they're concerned, I've gone missing. I don't want them to live with such uncertainty.
And Tyr, I thought you were from here.
No. Oh, no. Thank God, no.
Story.
Story? About what?
My life in this. I have no family.
No one you want to go back to?
I do not wish to go back to orcs.
That's fair. Well, there's always a place for you in the Seppel family. Okay, we got one elf. They could use
You
another.
lived with orcs before?
But yes,
Alright then. Well, I guess you should know something about me. I'm from Eberron. Wonderful place. Big wars, lots of things to do, lots of things to learn. He pulls out his, it is a tiny, disc-like, rock-looking thing with a rune on it. And it's, he says, "This is my spell book. Keep it handy." Flips it like a coin, puts it back in his pocket.
Nyx probably couldn't hear any of this because he's hanging on the back in the wind.
You start approaching the large stone edifice in front of you. The structure itself seems to be shrouded in its own darkness. Some of the windows do have light in them. The drawbridge itself the carriage starts going across. As you hear it, it sounds very rickety, it groans under the weight of the carriage, but it holds. Nick specifically looking down, you can see that the drawbridge looks very, very old, and it could break literally at any moment.
For being such a well-dressed man, I would just assume that Strahd would take better care of this place.
He doesn't look like he has the time for.
He's got nothing but time. So, Astrid, You haven't really opened up. Know of your passing if you do?
Honestly, if nobody knew that I ever existed, I'd be much happier. I just don't get along very well with anybody at the moment. So I don't think anybody cares.
To be fair, if you would fall, I'd save you.
That's sweet of
The carriage comes to a dead stop before twin turrets of stone, broken from many years of exposure. Beyond these guard towers is the precipice of a 50-foot wide, fog-filled chasm that disappears into unknown depths. A lowered drawbridge of old, shorn-up wooden beams stretches the chasm behind you. The chains of the drawbridge creak in the wind, their rust-eaten irons straining under their weight. From atop the high walls, stone gargoyles stare at you with their hollow eye sockets and grin hideously. A rotting wooden portcullis, green with growth, hangs above the entry tunnel. Beyond this location, the main doors of Ravenloft stand open. A rich, warm light spills from within, flooding the courtyard. Torches flutter sadly in sconces on both sides of the open doors.
Nix will immediately not trust this place.
I mean, good. Don't trust this place.
Never.
Kark
Nix is
walks
staying
ahead.
close to the cart.
Kark will try to keep a keen eye out on everything. He's especially going to be keeping a keen eye on these gargoyles.
How this works is the door is inlaid into the castle, so the door is in here, and then there's steps that go up to a area. But the roof has an overhang.
It is a bright lantern when it's on full power.
Looking around at the courtyard, thick, cold fog swirls in the courtyard. Sporadic flashes of lightning dance in the weeping clouds. Overhead, as thunder shakes the ground, through the drizzle you see torch flames sputtering on either side of the keep's open doors. A warm light spills out of the entrance, flooding the courtyard. High above the entrance is a round window with shards of broken glass lodged into the iron frame.
Kark looks over his shoulder. So I'm stepping in first then?
Yeah, you should do the honors.
Kark takes a step. Well, there's doors over here that seem to be going into these towers. Jeez Louise, that light is bright. Well, I see the edges of the courtyard. This place is quite big, but quite bland. Not even a
It's a
fountain.
courtyard. Expect courtyards to be that fancy. It's the interior that matters.
What do you guys think? Should we go into one of these doors? These seem to be going into the tower.
I think they're only for the towers. If we want to find Strahd, it'd be inside the keep.
Dim just comes to step up to Kark and offers him his hand.
Kark takes his hand.
We started something. We must end now.
Oh yes, I'm aware. I'm mostly nervous about going up those doors and, I don't know, getting killed by a Grim Reaper or something.
And we shall die on our feet and with friend.
Alright, I guess front door it is then. Kark feels a surge of pride and confidence that is probably going to be smashed.
As Nix passes under, he will turn off his ever-bright lantern.
We try to be hush. Yes?
Oh, hey, I'm the most hushed person you ever know. And I do speak Elven, remember?
I do for dwarf.
Anyway, we should go in. Knock, at least. Or just go right in.
Alright, Kark's gonna take a good look around first.
Yep, so peeking your head in. So the ornate outer doors of the castle hang open, flanked by fluttering torches in iron sconces. 20 feet inside the castle is a second set of doors. Overhead, in the vaulted entry foyer, 4 statues of dragons glare down, their eyes flickering in the torchlight.
Well, that seems very suspicious.
Can I see if they're alive.
Astrid, you are looking at the statues and you can tell that they don't seem to be breathing or moving in any form or fashion.
Just stone.
Does anybody have the ability to detect? No?
I have no magic detection skills now.
Alright, I guess I'm stepping in then.
I have no magic abilities whatsoever.
Kark very cautiously takes a step in.
Nyx will cautiously take a step after him as soon as he moves forward.
Does anything happen?
They eerily stare down at you.
Alright, alright. Perhaps you guys should all stay outside first, so that if the whole room is caught ablaze and only I am caught in it.
We're a group. We go together.
And we die together that way, but that seems to be your goal anyway.
The doors slowly and creakily slide open.
Nyx immediately hides behind Astrid.
It reveals in front of you a grand hall and the sound of an organ.
Well, that's great.
Friendly.
As you enter the hallway, cobwebs stretch between the columns that support a vaulted ceiling of a great dusty hall, dimly lit by sputtering torches in iron sconces. The torches cast odd shadows across the faces of 8 stone gargoyles, squatting motionlessly on the rim of the domed ceiling. Cracked and faded ceiling frescoes are covered by decay. Double doors of bronze stand closed to the east. To the north, a wide staircase climbs into the darkness. A lit hallway to the south contains yet another set of bronze doors, through which you hear majestic organ tones. From the stairway to the north, an elf with brown skin and long black hair descends the wide staircase. Quiet as a cat, he wears a gray cloak over his black studded leather armor and has a polished scimitar hanging from his belt.
Does he appear to have noticed us?
He looks right at you.
Dang it, I can't even pass without trace?
My master's expecting you, he says.
Good, we're expecting him too.
Jim bows with his
Oh,
flame
it's
gesture.
this
hand.
guy.
This
Kark
way.
tries to study his mind just in case he still has the
Yep.
aura of...
As he
Screams.
gets close to you, you need to make me a wisdom save.
Watching Kark toil in pain, Nyx will step back.
At this point, the man keeps walking and the screams dissipate. He turns
Yeah,
to make
Kark-
sure you're following.
Kark walks at a distance. I guess he's gonna just pat himself and heal himself just a little bit.
Nyx is like walking almost dead behind Kark, giving him like good luck pats on the back.
It's a good thing healing magic can heal even mental wounds. Oh, can I insight to see if he truly intends to lead us to Strahd?
He seems to be walking with a confidence, and he doesn't seem to give off any sort of deception. You need to make me a wisdom save now. Screams, both distant and close, start echoing through your mind. People being tortured and killed. He gestures for you to go inside. This hallway. To the east, an arched hallway stretches for 20 feet, ending in a spiral staircase that goes up and down. Next to the hallway, a suit of armor, oiled and glistening, stands to attention in the shallow alcove. To the west, large double doors hang slightly open, and a steady bright light escapes through the opening. Swells of organ music come from behind the doors, spilling their melody of power and defeat into the hall. Rodden stands back a little to allow people to make it in without having to go through his aura.
Kark looks at the organ. Is it playing itself?
No, you walk in. 3 enormous chandeliers brightly illuminate this magnificent chamber. Pillars of stone stand against dull white marble walls supporting the ceiling. In the center of the room is a long, heavy table, and it is covered with a fine satin cloth. The table is laden with many delectable foods: roast beef basted in savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, and sweet fruits and vegetables. There are places set for each of you, delicate china and silver. Each place is a crystal goblet filled with an amber liquid with a delicate, tantalizing fragrance. At the center of the far west wall, between the floor to the ceiling mirrors, stands a massive organ. Its pipes blare out a thunderous melody that speaks in tone of greatness and despair. Seated at the organ, facing away from you, is a caped figure that pounds the keys in raptured ecstasy.
It's Strahd.
As you all enter, the figure stops. A deep silence falls over the dining hall, and he slowly turns towards you. Welcome to my castle. It's about time that I've invited you, my guests, to dine with me.
Well, you did invite us before, but we were quite rude, weren't we?
Indeed. You seem to have learned from that mistake.
Kark is just smirking just a little bit.
Strahd smiles back.
Nyx is just not comfortable with this.
Unfortunately, I'm not very hungry.
The chef whipped up something very spectacular for you all. I'm sure you'd all enjoy it.
Oh, who's the chef?
Fantastic.
A servant of mine. He's of no importance.
Well, if he made something so delicious, he must be somewhat important. Kark takes a seat.
In time, you might meet him.
Okay.
Kark takes a seat, but he doesn't do anything to touch his food. Or any of the utensils at all.
Please, Yim, you can see that I got you something in particular. Just going over to one of the place sets, you know which one he's talking about, seeing as how one of them has a very familiar red marble brick on the plate. You've wanted to get rid of that pesky problem that you have, don't you?
The nightmares?
No. He gestures to Yim, talking to him. Go ahead.
Oh, that one.
Touch the brick and you will be cured.
Is it the same one?
It looks exactly the same.
If only we had detect magic.
I cast Detect Magic.
Also, Rodin has closed the doors. You see the brick itself has conjuration and abjuration. The organ has illusion.
What about Strahd himself?
You don't see anything coming off of him.
Interesting. Off guard. He mutters about. Kind of looks around the room a little bit. Looks at Yim's brick. Locks eyes with Yim, and he's like, "It's magic."
Yim folds his arms.
You don't want to be cured? Yim, I will not force you to be cured. I thought merely to give you a gift. I thought you'd want to be rid of this evil being inside of you, but should you not, I can always take it back.
Might I ask, Strahd, where this chain of charitability comes from?
I would like to finish speaking to Yim, please.
As he's speaking, Yim's unwrapping cloth to go and pick up the stone with and to wrap around with cloth.
So you wish to take the brick, but you do not wish to lose the devil?
Gim just folds it up and just holds it.
That's by your choice. Just the consequences of your devil's actions at this point now fall on you. For you had something to do about it and you refused. I hope you can live with yourself. Please, no one is eating.
Kirk looks at Ulfgar.
Oh, is Ulfgar eating?
So he looks at Ulfgar to see if, because he detected magic on the brick, he's checking to see if the food.
Food's fine.
He's gonna percept the food to make sure there's no poison.
You don't see any sort of poison.
Ugh.
Next, we'll start eating, but not very much. He's gonna go light on it.
Karg will eat lightly as well.
You find
Astrid is just gonna drink the drink.
that the food on the table is tasty and the wine delicious.
Ulfgar will eat a lot of the vegetables and wine.
Now, before I retire, is there any questions that you may have for me?
Dix is just gonna sit in silence.
No?
Well, we did fight you last night, right?
Indeed.
He
It
glares
wasn't a
at
nightmare or anything. Why haven't you killed us?
Should I?
No, of course not. I want to live.
You still haven't proven yourself to be any threat. He eyes Kark as he says it.
Kark is just rolling his eyes pretty much constantly during this meeting.
If there's nothing else, then I leave you. As when you're finished, find me and we can conclude this charade.
I do have one final question. Why is it that you seem so keen on giving?
Giving.
Yes.
I merely wish to be a good host.
But way earlier on, you spared me insanity. Why did you do that?
I couldn't have you be insane. I didn't want you to be in this place, starting off insane.
You wanted it to build up.
You can put it that way. I wanted you to find your own path. I didn't want a silly mistake to force something down you.
So, what are your opinions on what happened to Irina?
His smile falters ever slightly, but he keeps it at. What happened to
Sure.
Irina was regrettable. I leave you now. Enjoy the rest of your meal. And with that, Strahd's form dissolves into nothing. You hear a screech of ancient hinges and a solid thud of many heavy doors slamming shut, one after the other into the distance. You also hear a portcullis clang shut, and a tired groan of an aged drawbridge pulling up.
What a
Well,
surprise!
we're in this till death.
And then behind you, the door locks.
Kark, take this. He hands him the Everbright lantern. Unshutter it.
I need both my hands.
Give it to me.
Ulfgar, take it. Don't destroy it.
Kark stands up, holding both swords.
How many candles are in this room?
There's 3 chandelibras up above you.
Kark's going to use prestidigitation to light some candles. Ah, much better.
Looks like that was an illusion of Strahd.
What a surprise!
Did you just lock us in here?
Of course
Yep.
he did.
Give me a second.
What a jerk. I thought you were saying stuff
I'm
about
gonna
being
go over and try to pick the lock.
saying
Ulfgar
such
continues
things.
to eat.
Okay.
This will be my last meal. I'll enjoy it.
So you go to pick the door, and there's no lock on this side.
Okay, then. He's gonna walk over to the organ.
Okay.
And he is going to try to recreate the kind of music that Strahd was playing.
You start pushing keys on the piano, figuring out which ones are the ones you're looking for, and the organ starts to slide forward.
Oh,
Ah, dang.
Nix. Since
Wolfgar
when could
gets
you
up
play
after
the
this.
organ of all things?
I have my talents.
All right then. Hey, everybody be quiet.
That's my specialty.
It's everyone's
whispers.
specialty now. Kark whispers
The-
back.
The castle courtyard is visible through arrow slits in the north and west walls. Leaning against the walls are mirrors of various sizes, some tall as a human and others small enough to fit in a backpack.
I don't think he likes mirrors.
Something tells me this might be his mirror collection from all the failed adventurers who tried to use them again.
A high domed ceiling caps the 30-foot wide octagonal room before you. Frescoes faded with age adorn the ceiling, but their images are impossible to make out. Tall, thin arrow slits look over the courtyard. To the right, this narrow corridor runs east-west. Cobwebs fill the hall, obstructing sight beyond a few feet.
Make way, make way. Wolfgar kind of pushes Kark out of the way.
Kark steps out of the way.
He casts burning hands down the hall.
All right, you clear the hallway of cobwebs.
Kark
How much
pokes at the
further is it?
cobwebs.
You can't see the end of the hall. There's just a lot
there-
of cobwebs.
Kark's
Are there any
gonna poke
spiders?
cobwebs.
Okay, you poke them.
Ugh.
Do they feel sticky?
They feel sticky.
Like incredibly sticky or
No.
cobweb sticky?
Not very sticky, just cobweb sticky.
Are they
Still,
wet?
I-
If if I stepped on them, I wouldn't be like stuck or anything.
No, they're mostly covered in dust.
Okay. Kark is going to swing down through the webs with his sword.
Yeah, I guess no point in wasting many more spells. I'll just.
The long, hollow sigh of the wind breathes semblance of life into this otherwise featureless staircase.
Which way is the wind coming from?
Above.
The sword is in his
She-
study.
Patrina, yeah, she said the sword was in the study, which would
She
probably
also
be upstairs.
betrayed us.
That's true.
Well, the fortune teller also kind of led to it being. in the
But
study,
they could have
too.
changed it to how we told Patrina what we knew, and yeah, funness.
Hmm. I feel like Strahd would be next to his tomb right now, waiting for us.
I suppose we go up then?
I'll follow you,
That's my
Kark. You
vote.
never led me astray.
Alright, up we go. And stop saying that, I feel like I'm going to.
Well, if you do, it happens. You're human. Or part human.
I'm not human at all, actually.
You're humanoid.
Yes. Kark cuts through the spider webs. He's gonna percept around. Oh,
Besides
wait, that's
the
right.
silver building.
We have a prophecy of where we'll find him.
And where's that?
Hold on. Let me double check. Kark pulls out his.
This card
right.
tells of a powerful force and the good of protection, a holy symbol of great hope. That's
That's
the
not what we're
list.
looking
Wrong,
for.
wrong one.
Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality, and the card will lead you to him. He waits for you in a place of wisdom, warmth, and despair. Great secrets are there.
Wisdom, warmth, and despair. So probably a study then.
Hmm.
So if we want to avoid him, we should probably go deeper then. This area almost looks like a dead end anyways. So should we go deeper into the dungeon, or what?
Is there anything else? Is there anything else up here?
The real thing we need to consider is whether or not we should be trying to avoid him, because I'm not sure if we'll be able to rest here.
What I'm
Definitely
thinking
not.
is we should try to free Ulfgar's friend.
That's a good
Ulfgar's
idea.
kinsman. We can have another fighter in this.
That's a good idea. He's likely deeper then. I suppose we're going down then.
Yes.
I suppose so.
This 10-foot wide arched corridor is cold and moist. The cold seems to emanate from an open archway in the west wall.
Park will peak.
Sickly yellow lichen covers the ceilings of this cold, damp, 10-foot wide passage running east to west. Opening off to both sides of this passage are 10-foot square alcoves that contain rotting cots, rags, and the skeletal remains of castle guards. A deathly silence fills the hall.
Something tells me this used to be some sort of armory or a barracks.
Do you think Strahd ate them all?
Probably.
We should see if they have any silver, because I need a silver dagger.
Strahd is not weak to silver.
You start hearing rattling and moving as you watch the skeletons start moving and putting themselves together.
Oh no!
Roll for initiative.
Great.
This is why I need silver.
Skeletons aren't weak to silver either.
Damage. And this was bludgeoning, I imagine. No, sorry. First attack. Turns to dust.
And I gotta spend an extra movement to come up here. Use my second attack on him.
This one stays standing.
Oh,
You take out a bunch of his bones on his ribcage, turn to dust, but he still seems to be held up by his spine. Anything? Bonus action, sir. All right. Any amount of damage would kill him. So. Oop.
Nice.
Is that your turn?
yes. Are there other skeletons
You can hear them.
across here?
You can hear them forming all around the room. Skeleton's turn. Nyx is first. They bring up their rusty swords. Taking half damage makes you take 7 damage. The second one also hits you. You take another 5. Astrid gets attacked. Astrid, you're able to block both of them as they start shambling towards you.
Boneheads.
Kark.
Hold on, crash.
So as they start shambling towards you, you're able to start blocking them and trying to stop them from hitting you. However, there's just too many.
Meanwhile, Kark's kind of smiling and thinks, man, this is just like the old days before he was in clearing out undead crypts was kind of his thing.
True.
So with his training, he's gonna start trying to dispatch them. He's gonna go for this one first, who's giving them up. So he's still up?
Yep, you're able to cut through some of his bones, but
And he's
doesn't
gonna swing
take
again!
damage. And turns to dust.
And he's gonna turn to this one and give him a slap.
Again, you cut through some bones, but he stays up.
I wish I had my old mace.
Well, Nyx is gonna do the only thing he knows how, so we know he can't assassinate these things. He'll attack this one.
Your dagger
Yeah.
sort of clanks against some of the rusty bits of armor.
Then he will use his action to dodge.
Astrid.
I'm gonna try to slash the one right in front of me.
Carve him clean through.
And then I'll strike the other one.
This one stays up.
Seems there's skeletons among us. Scorching ray.
It blasts against some of the armor, knocking it off. The boneman turns to look at you. The ray slams into his skull and it explodes. The rest of his body turns to dust.
I'm gonna run up the wall and onto the ceiling, and I'm gonna cast Burning Hands on the 3 skeletons that are attacking Kark.
Kirk sees this and is like, what? He's never seen Yim do this.
This one does burn into dust.
Yeah, I'll fall to the ground, and but I have slow fall, so I'll land on my feet.
Yim, I didn't know you could do that, but I'm grateful for it.
Skeleton's turn. The skeleton's gonna try and just walk away from you if you want to make an opportunity attack.
Yes.
The skeletons surround Kark and start attacking him again. You're able to fight them off with Yim's assistance. Astrid's facing down one skeleton. It's nowhere near your AC. And Nyx also has a skeleton. You're able to dodge effectively.
Now that one's not standing behind me.
Kark?
Kark, grateful that Yim's here now, is going to take advantage of his positioning and start cutting through this skeleton.
You cleave
Slow.
through this one.
Alright. And then he turns his attention to this one. And then he's gonna run over here and jab at this one.
You stab through its skull and the rest of its body dissipates, leaving the skull on your blade.
Seeing Kark as he steals Astrid skeleton, he looks at her and says, "Now where are you?"
It was a skeleton. Whoop-de-doo.
It was the stealing of the kill that was. Never mind.
Nyx!
Nyx will attack the skeleton next to him.
Again, you just bang off of some armor.
He will then also take the dodge action with his cunning action.
Alright. Astrid?
I'm gonna swiggle my way over there. And chippity chop.
You do miss. The skeleton shield just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time for you. In your anger of him blocking you somehow, you chop again, but you chop through his shield and destroy him.
Easy as pie.
Kark's just like, well, I mean, in comparison, that was kind of relaxing.
Maybe for you.
I use one of my spells.
Well, I guess we should take a look around here, see if they're hiding anything. Kark's going to look around here to see if they're hiding anything.
Anything you think could be of use has seemed to have rotted away long ago.
Alright, doesn't seem to be anything here.
Okay.
Come along now. Let's not be all spread apart like we were at the beginning of that fight again.
Dark stains cover the floor of this area. Large oak tables, scarred and beaten, lay scattered like toys around the room, their wood crushed and splintered. Replacing them are furnishings made entirely of human and humanoid bones. The walls and 20-foot-high vaulted ceiling are a sickly yellow color, not because of faded, time-worn plaster, but because they too are adorned with bones and skulls, arranged in a morbidly decorative fashion, giving the room a cathedral-like quality.
It's a catacomb.
4 enormous mounds of bones occupy the corners of this ossuary. The garlands of skulls extend from these mounds to the chandelier of bones that hangs from the ceiling above a long table constructed of bones in the center of the room. 10 chairs, also made of bones and festooned with decorative skulls, surround the table. Resting atop the table is an ornate bowl-shaped vessel made of yet more bones. The doors to the north and south are sheathed in bone, but the steel-banded double doors to the center of the east wall are not. Above the eastern doors is mounted the skull of a dragon.
Okay then.
Looks like Strahd has a things for bone.
Those bone piles don't look good.
Kark's
Holy
going to think
bone
about bone
only.
piles to see if he knows about anything significant with.
Okay,
Should I roll like a religion or something?
if you'd like.
If it happens to be undead, disadvantages for that.
The bone
That's a
piles
story
do
for
not
the other one.
seem undead. They're not moving yet.
Yet.
And while there could be many religious uses for bones and bone-like structures, this doesn't seem to be any sorts of respectful, as many religions would use bones more
Do I
respectfully.
know of any undead, spooky things that appear as pile of bones?
Skeletons? Like a skeletal golem.
Thriving bone masses.
Yeah, skeleton golem sort of thing.
Well, Ulfgar's gonna investigate these bone piles, see if there's anything unnatural about them, other than the fact that they're bone piles.
You don't see anything in the bone piles, but you notice that the bones on the walls and the furniture are held together by a gray mortar and white paste.
So you say that some of these, is it this door that's held together or blocked by bones?
That's made of bone.
The door is like cased in bone, as is the door you came through.
Oh, okay. So they're still openable.
Yeah. So you said there was a like a chalice thing or whatever on the table.
It was a bowl made of bones. It seems to have been made in a similar fashion to the table and chairs.
Well, let's go through the other door.
Which one?
This one over here.
All right.
I'll check out the dragon one later.
Kark opens the door.
This 30-foot square room is in shambles. Broken bones lie shattered amid crumpled and crushed plate armor. Shields and swords jut from the wall as if driven into them by some tremendous force. Two doors stand opposite one another in the center of the north and south wall, and a dark entryway leads out to the east wall.
I'm going to very perceptively enter the room. This looks a lot like the area that had the skeletons in.
Passageway runs for 20 feet, connecting an archway to the west with a ascending stone staircase to the east. To the north and south are four 10-foot square alcoves cluttered with rotting cots and dirty rags. The ceiling here is covered in a yellow lichen.
There's no bones in these ones.
You see no bones.
What do you suggest?
We could do the door. He kind of just keeps nodding. He looks at the door.
He's gonna casually, very slowly open the door stealthily.
You're gonna stealth. As you're slowly opening the door, you notice the door itself is loud. All the doors have been loud so far.
Oh,
This shadowy room is in perfect order. A great table stands here with its chair, inkwell, and quill set carefully in places. Lances and swords that bear the Barovian crest are hung neatly on dark oak-paneled walls. Sitting behind the desk, sort of writing in a book, is Rahadin. He doesn't even look at you.
oh, hello. Kark says.
The master waits for you on the upper floors.
No, but he did say we could look around.
There's nothing for you in here. Please, if you would, leave me be. He
We can
lifts
leave
up
you
his
be.
hand and sort of shoos.
Kark's at least gonna peek into the room. Oh, okay.
There's nothing there.
Yeah,
Just him.
there's nothing really there.
Do you close the door?
Kark looks at everybody else.
Yeah, I'll close the door.
Alright, sorry for bothering you. He closes the door.
Odd.
I really do not like it here, guys.
Yeah, no.
Well, I think that dragon skull room, that's his study. We should go down to the basement, the dungeon, before we enter that room.
I don't think that's his study.
Or maybe the place he's supposed to meet us.
Well, any room could be that. That makes me want to look at the Dragon Skull room first.
No, don't.
What makes you say that?
Nothing. I want to look at this staircase first. He starts walking up the staircase.
There are the voices telling you not to look in it.
No voices, just my own head.
I'm going to use insight on that. Why are you so adamant, Ulfgar?
Because I have a downright feeling that that is the place we'll find him, considering his attendance office is right there.
Yes, but the attendant did say we'd meet him on the upper levels.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
there
he?
you go. Yes.
Oh, I guess I didn't hear that. We'll come back down the stairs, I guess.
This hall stands in a deadly silence. Heavy beams support a sagging 10-foot-high ceiling. Fog clings to the floor, obscuring everything that lies less than 3 feet above it. A giant shadow lurches across the ceiling as a dark figure shuffles purposely down the corridor towards you.
You say there's a shadow aside from the being?
No, the being was casting the shadow. You're not supposed to see him yet, but then as he gets closer, you start to see him.
When you say purposefully, does he look angry?
He's just like shuffling towards you.
Wait,
Who
what did
goes
it say?
there?
He's
As-
shambling towards us.
As he gets closer, you notice that it looks like some form of mongrel folk.
Good.
What
Who
are you
goes
doing?
there? Oh, we're taking the tour.
Are you master's guests?
Yes.
Oh, delightful. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
It'll be so sad when Master kills you, but it'll be so nice when I get to play with your bones.
How did you make all this?
Yes, that's my room. Well, it's one of my rooms.
Very impressive. Why does he do that for?
Why does he do it?
Strahd lets you play with the bones.
He doesn't have use for them, so I use them. I make pretty decorations.
Okay.
Do you want to go to your room?
My room?
Yes, the master had a room set for you.
Sure. Kark narrows his eyes.
Nyx will sneak in,
Yes, all of you
even though
this
he's
way.
holding a lantern.
I guess Ulfgar will come in as well.
Now hold on a second. He takes this time to jump, and he lands here. All right, everyone needs to stand where I was standing, but don't move further. Stand here and here.
Yeah, right there.
Get as close to possible. You can squeeze together. It's good.
Nyx is just gonna stand
Come
at the very edge.
Come here. Come here.
I'm gonna insight to see if there's anything to try to trick us.
He seems really pleased and like he's really excited to show you around.
Nyx will just look at Kark.
You don't want to be left behind, do you?
We're doing it. What now?
All of you need to get close. Get close. Squeeze together. Squeeze.
So we need to be on one of these two or something?
Squeeze.
Ulfgar just kind of looks at you.
You can probably fit up to 4 people side by side without too much hassle. It's just token-wise it's difficult, but
Yeah.
he's trying to get you to do that.
I'm gonna ready an action to jump away.
Yeah, same.
Ulfgar's gonna look at these other doors.
You two have to get close. If you don't get close, you're gonna be left behind.
You know, I think I'm having second thoughts about this.
But your room, I made it up just for you.
I'll see it after I'm dead.
Kark, come here. Please.
Why do we need to do this? I feel like he's just going to kill us.
Don't
If
kill.
we're gonna die, we might as well have a little bit of fun.
I never kill unless I eat you, which I don't. All right,
That's very reassuring.
everyone needs to quickly jump right here, really fast. If you don't all come, you all get left behind. Ready?
Sounds good.
3, 2, 1, jump!
He jumps there too?
Is everyone? Yeah, he jumps with you. Is everyone jump? No, is everyone jumping? He says here, where he is. Everyone's getting on. Okay. So it's a very tight fit. You sort of kind of land on each other, but as you do, The
Okay.
the floors next to you on either side of where you're standing start to fall away, and the ceiling also starts to fall away. But actually, you are the ones who are rising as you're being lifted up in this stone sort of elevator.
Whoa.
Okay.
Portcullises fall on both sides. You have to keep enclosing you inside. And then a gas starts to pour in. Everyone needs to
Oh.
make me a con save.
Great.
Everybody passed.
Does this smell funny?
Someone fart or something.
As you're rising, the creature sort of looks at you and he puts his hands in front of him and he starts rocking back and forth. Wow, you're the first ones not to just pass out on the gas. Sometimes there's one or two, but not the entire party.
Why is there gas?
That's a
Yeah,
trap.
can I punch him?
You want to punch him?
Yes, I want to punch him.
Owie, why did you do that? He starts holding his face and he starts shivering.
Yeah.
He guessed us.
True, you did gas us. Why did you gas us?
I didn't guess you. It was the trap.
Why
Alright.
activate?
Why did you step
Why
into
did
the
you-
trap?
You let us into it. What's the what?
I was
Where are we
telling-
going?
I'm taking you to your room. I told you. Please don't hurt me anymore. I don't
No
want
gas.
it.
No traps.
I don't control the traps. This is the fastest way. At this point, the elevator comes to a dead stop. Very hard. Everyone just shakes for a second. You all sort of bump into each other.
Okay.
The hatch on the there's a hatch on the roof. You can go through it.
Who wants to go first?
Park will take a peek.
Why stop?
'Cause we're here. Pushing or pulling down the hatch, you see a wooden trap door directly above you. A cold draft of wind rushes down a spiral staircase at the north end of the east wall, and whistles mournfully down through the room before streaming down the stairs to the south. An ornate square rug covers the floor to the south. Set into the west wall is an iron-bound wooden door with a wooden trapdoor set into the floor in front of it. You are in that. And hanging on the north wall above the trapdoor is a framed portrait of a young, handsome, well-dressed man with a serene yet penetrating gaze.
Who is it?
Looking at it,
Oh,
it looks to be a young version of Strahd.
Quite fetching.
Tark's gonna try to help everybody else up, I guess.
So you find yourselves in this area here. All right, Astrid, as you step there, the mongrel folk is like, wait! It's too late by now. The rug lifts itself up and starts to wrap itself around Astrid. You are restrained, blinded, and suffocating.
Oh, goodness.
Kark.
Park's going to move over here and try to cut the carpet.
Okay.
In a way that it would free Astrid.
So you sort of stab through the rug trying to get to Astrid. When you pull your blade back, you notice that it has blood on it. Astrid, you take 5 damage.
Ah! What do I do?
Unwrap.
Kark's going to get out of the way for other people to step in, probably Yin to handle unwrapping.
It's Nyx's turn.
Can Nyx make a different kind of attack with the dagger, like try to do a cutting motion from top to bottom?
You can try. You aren't able to get your dagger to pierce the thick rug.
Okay, he will use the cutting action, take the dash action to run past it over here. It does get an opportunity to activate their wishes.
It doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to unwrap her.
Okay, you want to try and grapple the rug?
Yeah, grapple. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so you can go try and grapple the rug. You're not able to pry it away, but you are holding on to it now.
I'm gonna death grip that sucker.
Is the rug like alive?
This just seems to be your typical rug of smothering.
Great.
What is that?
Hey.
It's an enchanted rug that smothers you. Usually used against intruders who try to go places you don't want them to go.
Anything else?
Sometimes they can be attached to triggers that'll like turn them off or temporarily disable them.
Is there a way I can do that?
You don't see any sort of arcane way to do that right now.
Gosh dang it. Alright, I'll firebolt it. Doesn't catch things on fire, just deals fire damage.
Astrid, you take 3 fire damage as the rug starts to heat up.
Great. How are you doing, Astrid?
10 out of 10
I don't think
roleplay.
we should hurt her anymore.
The rug's gonna try and break Yim's grip on it. Go ahead and give me your athletics check.
Fight me.
You keep a hold of it. Astrid, the rug starts condensing and crushing you, or constricting and crushing you,
Oh, like smothering wasn't enough.
and
Can I
suffocating.
actually do anything? I don't think so.
Just try to struggle out, I guess.
So you have a two-handed weapon, so that's actually impossible to swing when you're restrained. You could try and struggle to break free. Yeah, you do not break free. This rug seems to be very strong.
It's a rug.
I think that's your turn.
For sure.
They can be woven very tightly.
Something else that has happened.
Tell me the picture came to life.
I'm not telling you that. Yim needs to make me a wisdom save. So, Yim, you feel as if something's touching your brain, but right now you're busy with a rug. Kark.
Kark, unaware of the brain touching, is gonna come over here and he's going to try to. Can I impose advantage on Yim strengthening the rug away by offering what assistance I can? Maybe like sticking my sword in a place where I can help lever.
You can assist, yeah.
Okay, I will do that.
Cool. It's your turn then.
Yep.
Nyx.
Nyx will come and assist with the rug as well.
Okay. So that's your turn then.
Yeah.
Yim.
He'll use his cunning action to take the dodge in case the thing actually breaks free after we get it off her.
Sounds good. Yim. You pull the rug free and her face comes free. Astrid, you're not suffocating or blind.
Finally.
You're still in its
First
grasp.
step.
You're still in its grasp.
Great.
Is that your turn then?
Yeah, not unless I can go and attack the rug. The
No,
turn.
you like using your action to try and pry it free.
Then that is my turn.
Okay. Ulfgar.
I'm gonna see my friends have pretty much got this under control. Watch the staircase in case anything comes up.
The rug tries to break free of Yim's grasp. Yim was able to maintain his hold. Astrid, you take more crushing damage.
And then could I roll again to try to get out?
You can.
Cool.
You break free.
You had enough of the crushing.
The rug now floats here.
Ulfgar, will that thing continue to assault us?
I don't know.
Ulfgar, make me a wisdom save. Kark, the rug is off of Astrid.
Kark is going to stab at the rug. All right, and then
Put
I'll
another
swing
tear into this rug,
I'll swing at it 2 more times.
and you destroy the rug.
Yay!
With the rug destroyed, what are you doing, Nix?
He's gonna look around, see if he doesn't see anything.
You look behind, and you see Ulfgar is now wearing a twisted crown of jagged iron, and madness glows in his eyes.
Instantly runs over here and hides.
Okay. Stealth
Good
check, I
move
guess.
considering the spells he knows.
Yim, what do you want to do? If you turn around and you'd also see this jagged crown of iron on Frostbeard's face.
Want to use Stunning Strike.
Ooh!
He makes the
Dang.
save.
Can I try to recognize what might be happening to him?
I bring my quarterstaff around and try to whack Yim with it.
Yim easily blocks that.
This is probably the first time he's ever melee attacked this whole time.
I just go and like,
He just
like,
laughably
walk
misses.
my knee, just
I'm glad it chose him.
The look of madness in Frostbeard's eyes seems to fade, and the crown disappears.
That punch seemed to get back to his senses.
He looks over. Wait, he looks over at the mongrel guy with like an accusing glare.
What? What did I do?
Astra's just gonna stand her ground until there's more clear orders of what's going on.
Astrid needs to make me a wisdom save. So what happens is you must now make a melee attack against a target of my choice.
Take a look around now and see.
You look around and you see immediately Astrid has a crown on. She's looking at you with a madness in her eyes.
So pretty normal then. Kark is going to start running down the stairs. I'm gonna run just a little bit over my speed, so I know she can't possibly catch up to me and slap.
Next, we'll stay where he is and prep to attack if she comes at Kark.
Okay. Yim?
just ready an attack. I guess grapple.
Okay, so you can go ahead and grapple her. Make the athletics check, Astrid. Make a counter athletics.
Nope.
You are not able to grapple her.
I was looking at this dude here.
And then,
Are you
and then
doing-
Kark took off down the stairs.
What?
Kark ran down the stairs, being like, "Oh, don't hit me, Astrid!"
Are you doing this?
Try no magic? Hold on a second. No, I do no magic!
He looks behind him at the portrait.
Give me a perception check. The portrait seems to be smiling and nodding slowly, looking directly at Astrid.
He's going to stab it with the end of his quarterstaff.
Okay.
You're like, I'm gonna stab it with the end of my staff and then like pull down to rip the portrait.
While you hit it, it seems to be enchanted and does not rip as it should. The figure now looks at you, scowling.
Attack the portrait! He yells.
Astrid
Yim it is.
Yay.
does not hit.
Nice.
Oh,
I don't think you use multi-attack. I'm double checking though. You use your multi-attack. It makes sense. So Yim takes 15. Alright, so everyone in the room, including Astrid, needs to make me a wisdom save. A flash of light explodes in the room, and you're all, except for Yim, including Astrid, you're all incapacitated with a speed of 0.
Hearing attack the painting and whatnot, and that people aren't coming down the stairs. He's gonna run up here, see everybody being incapacitated, and then bonus action use Zephyr Strike to charge at the painting.
You make a smaller cut than you would expect hitting a painting.
Even though it was actually 10 damage?
Yes. You still make a sizable cut, just not as big as it should have been.
I was gonna attack it again.
Alright. And with that, the painting is destroyed.
He immediately looks over his shoulder to see if Astrid's still crowned.
The crown dissipates.
Oof.
And she sticks her tongue at you.
No, you're incapacitated.
Yeah, after about 6 seconds, everyone wakes up from their incapacitation.
Well, are you happy? Kark looks at the mongrel folk.
You stepped on the rug, it's not my fault.
And the
Didn't
painting?
warn us.
The painting protects the rug. They're friends. Well, they were. Poor rug.
What's behind this door?
This is your room.
Uh-huh.
Have a good
Kind of
stay.
room was it?
And he goes to start going down the stairs.
Wait, we're not staying here.
No? This
I
is
thought
your
you said
room.
we
You
stay
sleep.
here after we die.
But you can sleep.
What do you mean by that?
You don't want to sleep?
I mean, I wouldn't mind
You mean
sleeping.
sleep with no interruptions?
Strahd said make you a room. I made you a room.
Let's
Okay.
open it.
He didn't
Kark
tell me
opens
how
the
many
door.
of you there would be, though. There's only one bed.
Kark opens the door.
Enjoy your stay.
I still don't know how I feel about this place, guys.
It's big enough.
Oh, who's that?
As thunder shakes the tower, heavy beams groan under the weight of the ceiling. 3 ornate lanterns hang by chains from these beams, casting a dim glow. The curved west wall is fitted with 3 windows of leaded glass in steel lit latticework. A bookcase sits on the east wall between the 2 doors. Plush, overstuffed chairs and couches are placed about the room. The fabric has faded with age, and the pattern it depicts is nearly gone. Lounging on one of the couch is a handsome young man whose attire, while elegant, is worn and faded.
Who goes there?
Oh, you the new master's new playthings?
Apparently so. Who are you?
Good. I'm Escher, servant to the master of the castle, of course. Who else?
When you say servant, do you mean in the more literal sense?
I'm more of a courtier, actually.
So what do you do?
I please the master best I can, same as everyone else.
Astrid,
Mhm.
why?
I'm just saying. Hmm.
Don't mind
Kark.
her. She's a little crazy.
What are these over here?
Bookcases.
Are they books on it?
There are many books.
Kark's gonna take a look at them to see if he
Fantastic.
finds anything that sticks out.
Couple titles would include Embalming, the Lost Art, Life Among the Undead, Learning to Cope, Castle Building 101, Goats of the Balanock Mountains.
Oh, you'll read about the ghosts of the goats. We encountered one of those.
Yeah.
So you pick up the book.
yeah.
Oh, yes, this room is supposed to be yours. I hope you don't mind that I'm hanging out in it, do you?
Not at all. Why
I
are you?
do.
Is he intoxicated?
So he almost seems to be acting intoxicated, but in reality he seems just to be very melancholy. He almost seems depressed.
Wolfgar says, I mind.
Yes, I can leave you alone. Goodbye, dear ones. Goodbye.
Goodbye, you pretty face.
Enjoy your stay. You too, doll.
She called you.
Yeah.
Kark's
Yin
gonna
raises
open
an
the door.
eyebrow.
Nix just looks on in horror.
Well, I suppose if he's gonna give us time to rest.
I don't know if he is giving us time to rest.
A large
Proper
bed
room?
sits in the center of this room. It's 4 corner posts supporting a black canopy trimmed with gold tassels. Several comfortable divans are placed around the room. There's a banded door to the west wall and a smaller unbanded door to the east wall.
I don't trust this place, guys.
Cargo was the door.
This small wood-paneled room reeks of mildew and has a 10-foot-high ceiling. Iron hooks line the walls, and a dusty black coat hangs from one hook in the center of the south wall.
Ulfgar, could you check if this code is magical?
I suppose.
It could give us time to sit down for a bit.
The coat itself is not magic, and it's fairly tattered and old.
I'm looking around the entire room. I go out here and scan around.
There doesn't seem to be anything magical in this area.
Nix is just looking paranoid. He does not like.
Well, the coat's fine. Suppose we could eat lunch. Well, didn't we already eat?
There's not really much for us to do in here anyway.
I mean, we could always find a way to waste time.
You keep
Astrid,
your mouth shut.
this is not the time nor the place.
There's plenty of books here, guys. Come on.
She's right. There's lots of books. I would love to read some of them.
No. We have things to do.
Nix just changes into Nixium. Well, sorry, the other way around. Nixium changes into Nix because he's tired of the natural form. Ugh. And now he's just some weird old man roaming the tower.
Alright,
Great.
up or down, guys.
Up has a gust of wind coming down it.
Maybe down.
Oh, we could keep exploring the upper levels. I don't know.
You know, I
there's a
think
few
going up
towers.
is a bad idea. Think about this.
Alright.
Servant went down.
No, but think about this. The place of wisdom, the books, warmth, it's a nice area, and despair, there was the melancholy man inside.
Well, he wasn't very despairful, but he was melancholy. We could go down if you want.
We'll go back.
I'm just nervous that we might be close.
Think it in the room. Or different study.
It could be a different study. I might just be overthinking that.
Hmm.
Well, we'll start heading downstairs.
Alright, Park will go.
Doing anything?
Nix will follow.
He still has detect magic running.